knowledge next to their knowledge is nothing but a drop to their oceans. So we're asking him, our Shaykh, Sahibul Saif, Shaykh Abdul Karim al-Kibrisi al-Rabbani, to send us something to be with us. Something that is going to give us benefit, to raise our spirit, to make us to become stronger against the shaitan, this dunya, our ego and our hawa, to come closer to Allah and His beloved ones, inshallah. So you have a question. You're asking what?
What is the relationship between the Qurban and the Eid and the Qurban that happened at Ashura?
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. We just finished the Qurban, Eid al-Adha. That is commemorating not only the sacrifice of Ismail alayhi salam, but the life of sacrifices of Hazrat Ibrahim alayhi salam, and connecting directly from Ismail alayhi salam to the Holy Prophet alayhi salam. Because Hazrat Ismail alayhi salam is the result of the dua of Hazrat Ibrahim. That Hazrat Ibrahim alayhi salam is going to be the father of over 70,000 prophets. Yes, that was his responsibility, that was his duty. And especially the father or the grandfather of the last prophet alayhi salam. That 70,000 prophets were given to his other son, Hazrat Ishaq alayhi salam. There are so many, they're making mistake and confusion, saying the sacrifice is Ishaq. It is not Ishaq, it is Ismail, that is his first son. Even the Bible is saying that. People say, doesn't matter, let them to say. And now the 9th of Zul Hijja, correct? What is the month after Zul Hijja? Muharram, and the 10th of Muharram. We're looking almost 30 odd days. We're going to witness now on the 10th of Muharram, on the day of Ashura, that one of the many events that has taken place in this world, one of the events is the event of Karbala, the day of Ashura. But like I said, that day of Ashura, it is not the only event that happened on that day. On the day of Ashura, Adam alayhi salam was forgiven and he was reunited. On the day of Ashura, Sulaiman alayhi salam, his kingdom was returned to him. On the day of Ashura, the Bani Israel, they were saved from the cruelty and the tyranny of Firaun. There's so many other events with so many other prophets. Idris alayhi salam, Isa alayhi salam, every prophet almost, that is a very major event that happens. It is the day, especially the day of forgiveness. But that is also the day that Hazrat Hussein, with over 70 of his family members, they were martyred and they were sacrificed. It has so many secrets there. Now we look from one sacrifice 30 days ago to another sacrifice. If we look at the lives of all the prophets, it is nothing but sacrifice. If you look at the lives of all the prophets, regular people are going to say this is the worst life ever. Regular people are going to say, including Muslims, they're going to say this is a cursed life. They know nothing but misery and torture and pain and suffering. But it's the life of every prophet. Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has reserved them for Him. For Him and for Akhirat. Karbala happened. Number one, we are people who believe in amantu. Amantu billahi wa malaikatihi wa kutubihi wa rusulihi yawmil akhiri biqadri khayri sharrihi min Allah ta'ala qabul. We are the people who believe in Allah, the angels, the books. We are also a people who believe in the destiny. Good and bad, it is coming with the knowledge and with the permission of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now, the day of Karbala, it was destined. And if mankind is still not understanding, Muslims are still not understanding how Allah, despite, yes, the betrayal of Muslims on the Ahlul Bayt, let's not talk about too much now what Ahlul Bayt means. The Ahlul Bayt, people of the house of the Prophet ﷺ, who lived the life of the Prophet, and the Prophet was the greatest martyr. He was a martyr. That those ones who are following in his footsteps, those ones who belong to his house, they live their lives filled with sacrifices, and majority of them, they go as martyrs. But they never complain. They never say why. They never want revenge. They never say to Allah, now we want our justice. Because they understand. Because everything that they're doing, their lives and their properties, their wives, their children, everything. Inna salati wa nusuki wa mahyaya wa mamat. Their prayers, their ibadat, their lives and their deaths is only for Allah. That is the prayer of Hazrat Ibrahim alayhi salam. And we're the millet of Hazrat Ibrahim. That's why the people of this nation, we're not afraid to die for Allah. And the role models of that, the first ones to be our role model is the Ahlul Bayt. To show the sacrifice, that they are sacrificing themselves for the sake of the nation. Now, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, through His extreme mercy, He could have put a very heavy punishment on the nation because of that. Correct? But don't think that those ones who betrayed Hazrat Hussein, they're not being punished. Up to today, they're still punishing themselves. Up till today, they're still beating themselves up and hurting themselves and bleeding. But the understanding there of Karbala is also something that, inshallah, one day we're going to go deeper into. Because Hazrat Hussein, he was following the footsteps of his grandfather, the Holy Prophet ﷺ. He was making hijrah. He was not challenging the authority. He was making hijrah. Although people wanted him to challenge and to say, we support you, he knows. He was not a young man in his 20s or his 30s when he made that hijrah. He was a man filled with experience in life and understanding people's character. But there was a bigger secret to where he was moving. He wasn't just going to move to, say, Karbala. He was moving somewhere else because the prophets, they have a vision. The prophets, they are not looking at their lives for 5, 10 years, 1, 2 generations. They have a vision, and their vision is the vision of Allah. And everything is preparing for the Akhir Zaman. And their migration was also in preparation for the Akhir Zaman. But so many other things happened there, people that we know and we don't know. so many other things that we may accept and we don't accept. We may not open it so much because people are not going to accept things. Now the lesson for us is understanding now that there is more responsibility for us as the ummah of the Holy Prophet ﷺ. There is more responsibility for us to live up to the prayer of our father Hazrat Ibrahim. Our lives and our deaths are only for you. That responsibility is placed more heavily on this nation. And if we look to the history of our nation, from Badr to Chanakala, his religion is standing strong through the sacrifices of these holy ones. Where are we in this? This is our question. Where are we in this? What is our sacrifice? What, we think we pray 5 times a day, that is sacrifice? We're fasting 1 month, a year, that is sacrifice. We're going to the Hajj, that is sacrifice. What kind of Hajj? The Hajj that the authorities, they are making, every year they're charging more and more and more. That people are saying right after the oil revenue, the revenue from the Hajj, it is the biggest revenue profit that they're making. That you're going against what Holy Prophet ﷺ is doing. You're going back to the Jahiliyyah days, oh Arabs, because you're making the Hajj only for the rich people. Poor people, you're kicking them away. So we are in preparation of the Akhir Zaman. So what sacrifice are we doing now? What is our sacrifice? What? We're praying, we're fasting, we're going to Hajj. This is sacrifice to Allah. It is not sacrifice to Allah. As Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had asked Musa alayhi salam, what have you done for me, ya Musa? Musa alayhi salam said the same things. I pray, I fasted, I paid zakat, I went to the Hajj. Of course Musa alayhi salam did that. In his own shariat, in his own way, every prophet did that. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, no, ya Musa. Everything that you've described, it is only for you. You're doing it only for you, not for me. The prayer, it is cleaning you. It is not for me. The zakat, it is cleaning your wealth and is going to give you more wealth. It is not for me. Everything, it is for you. It is not for me. Then what can I do for you? Ya Rabbi. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, love whom I love and leave those ones that I leave. Now, if we love those whom Allah loves, we're looking at their example. Now, when we look at the Holy Prophet's example, the Ahlul Bayt's example, they are our role models, and our life should model after them. This is the meaning of that. And when the Muslims, we are fearing death, and we have hubub dunya, this is the end. It's finished. This is exactly what is happening. There is a hadith. Holy Prophet ﷺ said, I fear for my nation. One day is going to come. One day is going to come where the enemies are going to come to their sofra. And the enemies are going to come like wild animals to tear at their sofra, meaning the empire, the people, the ummah, our resources, everything that the Muslims have. Unbelievers are going to come to tear that to pieces. And the Sahaba Kiram asked him, Ya Rasulullah, is it because we're so less? He says, no, because you are going, in fact, you're going to be more. Is it because we don't have people to support us? You have people. Is it because we don't have resources? I'm paraphrasing to say they're asking him, what is the reason? He says, no. We are going to be a people that is going to be so vast in numbers, so deep in our pockets. Yeah? We have so much wealth, so much resources, technology, everything, name it. But still the enemy is going to attack us and finish us off. And they asked him, what is the reason for that? And he said, because they hate death and they love this world. The fear of death, the hatred of death, and the hubub dunya. If we look at the examples of the prophets and the Ahlul Bayt, we're going to shift our lives. And the Ashura is entering 10 days after the new year. We finish the year with sacrifice, and we begin the year with sacrifice. A person who is understanding just this alone, his life is going to turn around, and he's going to look at his problems, he's going to look at his desires, he's going to look at his aim, and he's going to reorient that. That is a compass. Now, when we stop using the prophets and the Ahlul Bayt as compasses, then that time the dunya is going to guide us. Our desire is going to guide us. Shaitan will guide us. Our ego will guide us, and it will guide us to Jahannam, here and hereafter. May Allah make us to wake up and to understand. May Allah forgive me and bless you, inshallah. Wa min Allahu tawfiq. Fatiha. Yes?
Today you told us that before the Ibrahim was born, the root was the boy, the newborns.
Yes.
So is that because of that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made Hazrat Ibrahim go through sacrificing his own son?
No, it's not. May Allah not test us. Make it easy for us. We're not asking for Allah to test us. But we cannot look lightly at what the prophets they went through, what the Ahlul Bayt they went through. Al-Fatiha. Amen. This much is enough, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.